Hello everybody, this is Baron the Bear, and this is gonna be a video that's gonna be a little bit different. I'm making a video that's gonna be an honoring YouTube because of all the 3.5 or 4 years I've been doing this, I never once had a single issue with YouTube and any of my content. I never had any like negative response from them. They've always been positive and encouraged me. They send emails out to all their content creators and give them a lot of helpful tips. And one of the tips I learned was I'll try to. I'm not going to keep this short. Just be honest with you guys. If you're and listen, usually I make games, content for games like city builders. So if that's what you're kind of looking for in this video, you might want to just this is not going to be that video. This is going to be a video that's basically going to show a lot of inside information that very few, I think, YouTubers actually find out during the time that they are making content for YouTube. But I do want to state though about go back to talking about YouTube is they do a lot of emails, and one of their email I can't remember, this was years ago, I'm not sure when this was, but there is one video that's really helpful. The information in their email about called viewer retention, and you have to speak in such a way to people to where there's an honesty. You have to be, in my opinion, honesty is the best policy, and you have to be honest with people. You can't sugarcoat things because people can pick up on that kind of stuff. You have to make things interesting. You have to make people laugh. You have to be, you have to tell the truth, even if you could get in trouble with the certain companies that you might be sponsoring or something. That's why I think for the most part I don't do any sponsorships anymore. I don't really. I mean, I make a little bit of money, but I gotta be honest. I make more money on my lunch break than I do for ever making money in this game and making content. That's not why I do my content. I do my content to help players and people that in the games that I play. And I just love making videos. I know some people might be like shocked, like, wow, this someone doesn't want to make money doing this, but that's why I do it. And so it gives me the freedom to say whatever I want. And YouTube, I got a news flash. If there's anybody listening right now that thinks they can mess with me, I got a news flash. YouTube backs their content creators. They don't allow companies to target them. They have a legal team, a lot of good advice. Anytime I have an issue, within 10 minutes, I can talk to someone from YouTube about it. I can be totally honest with them about anything. I don't have to hide a single thing from YouTube, and that's why I'm making this video. It's just an appreciation to YouTube for all their understanding and help that they've given me in the 3-4 years I've been doing this. It's been a nightmare. Unfortunately, I don't think a lot of people really realize. Another reason why I'm making this video is I don't think a lot of people realize how bad a YouTuber has it. You get targeted by anybody. You get looked down at, and you can't even get your videos promoted. You have to do all your own self-promotion. And outside of the avenues, if you do videos for games, you have to go outside. You have to be on Twitter, Instagram, have your own Facebook, and all these different types of social medias. What happens to a lot of these content creators, especially for really advanced type of games like city builders, is they don't even have time to play the game, because all they end up having to do is take all their free time that they have, other than working and sleeping, is to self-promote their content, and they never really truly learn the game. That's why I do all my I don't even do self-promotion. It's a waste of time. for me. I make this content from learning and playing the game. I spend my time just playing the game. When I learn things, and I've been doing this for 10 years, I can basically, in any game I play, within probably 2 or 3 weeks, I know everything and there is to know about the game, because they're all the same and certain aspects are different, but they're all designed the same. They run off all the same coding templates. And the reason why they do that is, I'm going to give some insider stuff out here. A lot of people probably don't realize. The reason why they do all that is because it's a lot simpler, easier to take an existing code that's been proven to be without any errors than they have to write up your own new code. And then you run into all kinds of problems. I've done coding, basic HTML coding. I highly recommend everyone to try that, and you'll realize just by using the basics, that if you make one little mistake in that code, there's no telling what will happen. You have to go through all that code again and look through it all. So a lot of these big companies, they're a lot of them, unfortunately, nowadays all seem to be based on certain countries. Not to say that that's a bad thing, but from my experience, it's not good, unfortunately. But I would hope to see more diversity in these games and where they're made from and all that. But evidently, that's not the case nowadays. I'm basically going to be rambling on, but if you want to listen to, I got some stuff to say in this video. I tell you, But this is not self-promoting. This is basically going to be self-therapy at this point for me, because I find all kinds of stuff out in these games. It's amazing what I find out, the shady things that people do. First, I do want to make a disclaimer, though. Anything I do say at this point is not going to reflect YouTube. I love YouTube. I think Google is a great company. It blows my mind what they've made. Their Google Docs, all that. It's amazing stuff. And then I'm not going to point out any certain companies, because there's always good and bad things with mobile games. I'm not going to point any fingers on any certain company. Maybe some people listening might have a guess what company I might be talking about. What I will also I will clarify, is there is a game coming up that I'm really excited to play, and they have some really good content. There's the one guy, I don't want to give his name out, but I'll probably run into him at some point and talk to him or something, and I'll let him know that he's my favorite. There's one content creator, I can tell he's like me in a lot of aspects. He's doing this to help the players, so I have much respect for players that are honest. YouTubers that are doing this with good intentions. That's why I do it. I just love to make videos, and I'm making this video just in tribute to YouTube, because of all the pain I've had. I've never had a single issue with them. So it's amazing that a company, supports their content creators that well. But I'm going to go on at this point. Maybe this will help other YouTubers. Unfortunately, I think it's sad that I think a lot of the YouTubers end up quitting early off after the first 6 months or a year. And I think a lot of that reason is they don't get the support they need. They don't get the likes in their videos. They don't get any feedback. Nobody criticizes, gives any constructive criticism to the YouTubers. They need this kind of stuff if they're going to get better, And if they don't get it, then they're not going to get better. And they usually end up giving up, which is sad. That's what probably 80%, I'd say, probably give up. Maybe I'm wrong on that number there, but it's a high number. I'm an exception to that rule. Most of people wouldn't be able to handle what I've had to deal with, and that would be the next part of this discussion. Is I'll tell you a little bit about what's happened to me, and you better sit down, though, because I tell you this is a rude awakening, I think, for a lot of people. Well, anyway, I had one game when I got my first sponsorship, and I had to. They want me to advertise in the game chat every now and then. Nothing like spam or anything. And the game was on board with this. I was getting paid. I was actually getting paid pretty good money to do this, to be honest. So I was really hyped about it. I wanted to make a good impression. I wanted to do a good job. Well, as soon as a certain person saw, I was advertising and whatnot, they made it their life goal in the game to target me throughout the whole promotion. It was so bad. I think I got muted, false muted, reported on, probably 2 or 3 different times. One was right before I had the promotion to start, so I couldn't even talk in the chats or nothing to no one to promote, what I was promoting for the game. So, and then I remember one night, the first night I was given the promotions, anytime I typed in the chat, about what they wanted me, specifically what they wanted me to put, this one person flooded that chat every single time. He did this for like a whole day. And I know I didn't try to stay up too much like all day, but I'm not kidding you, man. I stayed up one night, the whole night, because I just wanted to be able to advertise a little. The whole night long, anytime I posted, he flooded that chat the whole time. He made it his goal to stop me in any way from doing what I was supposed to be, what I was getting paid to do, So if that's not bad, I don't know what is, At that point, I had other problems with issues. I almost had a nervous breakdown because of that, because I was so determined to want to do a good job. And I was just so heartbroken because I couldn't do what they wanted me to do, So yeah, that was fun. And I've had other problems with other companies that, what I find is, see, they don't like experienced gamers to be their content creators because they know that if they do anything shady in their games, they know that this guy's going to spot it, They're not going to want to advertise and self-promote those type of content creators. They're not going to put them on their Facebook because they don't want them. They have a following. If that YouTuber that's smart, that's experienced, gets a following, they're afraid that, at some point, whatnot, he's going to say something, get mad or something, and say things that, they don't want them for him to say. What I can say, though, about that as far as me is I don't do that. If I find things out that's shady, I just walk away. I don't want to be a part of any company that I know that is like truly intentionally, like with pushing like really bad monetizations that are basically causing addictions. It's literally like a drug to people. I've seen a lot of mechanics they put in some of these games that will make people addicted and ruin their lives, ruin their families, ruin their marriages. It's sad. There should be laws. There should be laws in people's countries where these games are out that they're not allowed to put that kind of stuff in their games because it ruins people. And I hate to see that. That's why, for the most part, I don't even want any rewards in companies and stuff, The game I was just, working on in a lot of my games, I don't want no rewards, I don't want the rewards. I don't want to get paid for nothing. I don't want to get no in-game items because once you start taking something from them, see, they think that, they got this guy, what I'm saying? We can tell them we can control everything he does now, what I'm saying, because he's got his hand in the cookie jar, Well, I got a news flash. If anybody who probably knows me and knows my content, they probably know me. I don't get my hand in no cookie jars, what I'm saying. I got my own cookie jars, what I'm saying. I got a lot of cookie jars where I'm at, what I'm saying. I get cookies every day, what I'm saying. So I don't need anyone else's cookie jars. So that's one thing that they are afraid of too. Once they find out that you're that kind of a YouTuber, like, oh crap, we can't pay this guy, to keep quiet. Yeah, you're not going to get no promotions. But I just find it's sad though that this is how we live nowadays. That everybody has to prey on everyone and make them feed on people's addictions to make money. Fortunately, there are some good games. I'm really excited because I do think there are some good games coming out. That yes, they have to make money, and they have to do things, if they want to make a good game and make good content in those games, they have to generate money, for the game. So that they're gonna have to do some things. But I honestly believe there are some games that don't prey on people, And I think there's a certain games come. I don't want to get in too much into this, but I recognize from certain developers, I can see, what I've researched, and they feel the same way as I do on that. You don't have to feed off of people's weaknesses to make money for a game. You can make money legitimately in games. One thing I want to give anyone who's still listening, I might have 5 people by now, I might still be listening before they nod off and go to sleep at night, before they go to bed. But is always when you play these city builder games, anytime, look at their updates in their Discord, their Facebook. Look at the notes and stuff. If they don't say anything, what's going on in the game, it's shady. And the reason why I say that is because they're going to hide things from you. They're going to manipulate things. They're going to be probably most likely change things while you're still playing the game. They probably won't even release it in an update note. Like, well, we'll just adjust this on everybody, Oh, they won't figure this out, So when you start to see that, then that's a red light. If you see a company who gives like examples of like what a mechanic was, and then right after they post what they changed, what made it different, that's a good company. That's a company that believes in being honest, 100% transparent with their players. They're not trying to hide anything from them. Fortunately, there are some good games that do that. And there is one game coming up I'm really excited about. And it's probably the best patch notes I've ever seen in any game. That's a mobile game. So I'm really excited about that. And there's a lot of content creators, I tell you. There's some good ones, I tell you. And I feel for all them guys, And I know what they've had to deal with. Who knows, They have a lot more followers than I do. But I still see them make mistakes, though. I see a lot of issues. I think it's hard for a lot of people to teach others in games. I seem to have a natural, skill in teaching. I break down things very simple. I keep it simple. My content I make for free players, new players, casual players, people who just want to play just a little bit here and there, and every night, a few hours here or there, and have fun, and I emphasize that. I don't emphasize playing games your whole life all the time. It's not healthy. You have to have your family time. You have to have, time with your loved ones, your wife, your girlfriend, your family, your brothers, your sisters, your mom, your dad. These mobile games are just meant for just, short times of playing. And it upsets me when some of these games, basically force people. You have to play nonstop all the time, and that's just not healthy for people, So I have a hard time. But when I start to see, I study the games and I make content for. I always hear a lot of these companies say, "Oh, we're all about the free players," Hey, we're here for the free players, guys. We care about our free players. No, they don't. If they're saying that, they're probably hiding something. Because you wouldn't have to say that if you really did care and if you made the game right. You wouldn't have to try to say that about, what you're doing, So that's a red light there. I will say at this point, because I'm probably safe to say anybody who might have the concern about saying this, in regards, probably isn't going to be listening at this point. Once we get to the 20-minute mark here, I'll be safe to be really truthful and tell you what some crazy stuff I've actually found out. But yeah, if you're still listening at this point, I'm probably going to wrap this up here probably in a few more minutes. But I'm going to give the good stuff now. Okay, I'm not gonna say I can't name any names or a game or anything or when that this happened, but I actually was involved in a game where everyone seemed to have their hand in the cookie jar, so to speak. The moderators, their veteran players that were in their content type of text guide programs and whatnot. They all had their hand in the cookie jar. They didn't want to reveal the corrupted predatory monetizations in their guides, their videos, and all that kind of stuff. They were hiding that. I find that really just, I don't know, I have a bad problem. That's not ethical. I don't agree with gambling. Uh, I don't agree with it being in games that are kiddish looking, that look like cartoons. I know that the game I'm playing is going to have those kind of mechanics, but I still don't agree with that. I don't think you need to put kids and younger people into games that have those predatory type of addictions for people. I don't think it should be okay to show or give people the impression it's okay to gamble. Unfortunately, a lot of people have had a lot of trouble in their life from gambling and addictions, and I don't think it needs to be in a game that kids play. So I'm totally against gambling in a video game. It shouldn't be it shouldn't even be allowed. It should be illegal, in my opinion, but it's not. Well, that being said, another interesting thing I found out. This one really kind of blew my mind. A lot of the staff in these types of games, they hide their identity, which makes sense, but they even hide their gender. They'll pretend to be a female when they're actually a guy. Yeah, that's a little creepy. I found that out in one of the games I played. I'm not going to specify anything on that. But yeah, I found a lot of things out, and this person actually wouldn't promote me, wouldn't put me in their Facebook because, in their eyes, I wasn't good enough. My content wasn't good enough. It wasn't pretty enough. It was, I actually talk. I don't use text. I don't, use pretty robotic voices and stuff like that kind of stuff. I actually talk to people like a human being does, which I know it's just crazy for someone to want to talk to people. We can't talk to people anymore. I might, that's not good. But so, and then they found out I was actually going to be making content for other games. Then they tried to say I couldn't make content for that game, for other games. And then they changed it. So, we can do this now, but it has to be 7 days before or after you can't make content for another game. Just to be put on their Facebook. Like, what kind of rule is that? Like, come on, I mean, I'm not even getting paid, and the rewards I did get from these certain games, it's chump change. I make what they gave me in rewards. I make that on my lunch breaks and my days off, and I don't see how they think that that's like really great. Like I'm supposed to not okay. I'm not gonna make. You can't tell me what I can do with making videos. This is my content. This is my channel, my YouTube channel. I do this for me. I make the content and help and the games and the videos I make for the games I want to play. You can't tell me I can't play a game and make a video for them. I don't care who you are, who you think. So yeah, I had to be honest, they kind of pissed me off, and I made a few videos just to kind of give them a couple of hints on what they're messing with the bear, and I don't think I got a news flash too, and I'll give some good advice here. It's not good to mess with bears because yeah, they bite back. It's really hard if you ever get attacked by a bear. Good luck because you're gonna have to play dead because you can't outrun a bear, and when they're really pissed off, you don't have much of a chance, to be honest. So that's why one reason why I use the bear in my name, because it gives people a little bit of a heads up that you don't want to mess with me, and I give a little bit of tips every now and then, little hints subtle hints, what I can do and how I can manipulate things and make content where I don't really say anything, bad, but I give a little bit of just, hints out there that, they pick up on it after a little while that, ooh, this guy, maybe we don't want to mess with him. You know what I'm saying? He's got something upstairs, man. I don't know what his level of intelligence is, but I tell you, man, it's kind of scary. So, yeah, I kind of do some scary stuff when I have to, unfortunately. But you have to be able to defend yourself against these type of predators, in these games. Unfortunately, a lot of people involved in these staff in these games, it's only about money to them. They don't care about any of the people, the players. Unfortunately, all the younger kids and younger, not adults, underage people that play these games, they could give a rat's, behind about these people. And I find that very wrong. I don't know how they sleep at night, the things they think they can get away with. But they ain't going to push me around. So I just wanted to share that. I had issues where they were actually making themselves to be content creators. One staff member actually tried to set me up. They waited. I made like a whole bunch of videos for them, and they waited. All of a sudden, they made one video, and they used a female robotic voice because they were a guy, so they knew they couldn't talk or use text. So they thought they'd be slick about it and make a female robotic voice, and talk like a girl, So they put this fake girl picture, like animate picture on there for their avatar to make it look like they were female and all that, and they put it up. And then the next day they posted in the content channel, that, oh, we got the chosen one. The chosen one has been chosen to be put on the Facebook. Look, everybody, the one content creator that just started making videos for us. It's only got a couple videos in the game. We're going to put them on the Facebook page, guys. Oh, wait a minute. I don't think the guy that's done something 30, 20, 100 videos for us, I don't think he's going to get mad. No, it was intentional. It was just a way they wanted me to slip up and make a mistake so they could, kick me out, like that. Unfortunately for them, I'm smarter than that. I don't take the bait with that kind of stuff. I caught on to that pretty quickly. I already knew, what was going on. Once I get into the game, about 2 or 3 weeks in, and I see the predatorial stuff in the game, I know it's done. Game over for me. I'll be moving on. So, but I knew this was going to come, and I actually did some. There's a book called Art of War, by Sun Tzu. And one of the teachings, I put this in one of my videos. I threw this out for them just so that they could gnaw on it a little bit. Like, oh crap, this guy actually knew all this stuff all along. He was intentionally acting stupid. Holy cow, this guy's smart. Oh no, we better not mess with this guy. So I had to do some things to kind of give them a little heads up on that, So basically what the teachings, and I highly recommend reading that book. I mean, it's not the most exciting, but it's got some good tips in there. I tell you, if you get problems with evil people, that book would tell you how to counter them, that's for sure. But anyway, one of the things in the book, I don't reveal all my secrets, but one of the things in that book, it went over the art of deception. And believe it or not, there are some people in this world that have certain abilities that would blow your mind what they can do. They can actually, just by texting or voice chat or whatever, they can fool people into thinking that they're not as smart as them or whatnot, just so that they could get them to have them say things to them, just so they slip up. I gotta say this right now. I got some screenshots from a lot of people, I tell you. And if they ever cause me any problems, I feel sorry for them because the truth's going to come out, So if there is, by some miracle, certain people watching this thinking they're going to be able to do stuff to me, I got a lot of evidence on you, so good luck with that one, buddy, Just throwing that one out there in case this guy's listening right now, because he picked the wrong guy to mess with. I don't tolerate manipulation. Some people have intelligence to such a level that you can't do nothing to them. You can't manipulate them. In fact, they trick you and manipulate you, even though you think that you're manipulating them. It's amazing what people can do. Okay, I'll probably ramble on a little bit more. Yeah, if by some miracle you're still listening to this, my hat's off to you, man. Because I tell you, you must really be wanting to learn things from people who've been around. So I gotta give my props off to you. If by some chance you are still listening, feel free to post a comment or something. Let me know that. Just say something like, "Yes, Baron, I totally agree." And then I'll know that you actually were one of the smart ones that actually wanted to listen and find things out. So congratulations. You're one of the 1% of the population that has a high IQ. So I congratulate you. Anyway, I'm going to go a little bit more in some things I find interesting too. I'm not just going to throw it all out. I'm not going to hide nothing. Another interesting thing I find is there's a lot of writers in books and throughout history and even in present time that write things as symbology to convey secrets, hidden truths that are archetypical facts that should be known by people, but they're not. They don't want to reveal these things that people can do. One of the things is there's a movie called Dune. And they had this weapon called the Weirding Module, and if you had said certain words, it was a weapon, and it would shoot these vibrations out, and it could do massive damage. And one of the leader, they called him Paul Muad'Dib, and his name was an actual, slaying word, Muad'Dib, and what that was saying in that, what the symbolism behind that is what that was really trying to convey to people, which I don't think people ever really picked up on in that movie. The books by Frank Herbert, I think. The book and the movie, the old movie, are identical. If you read the book, it's the same as the movie. So if you want to read the short version of the book, watch the 2-hour movie, because it's basically the same, which is very hard for these movies to make the same as a story. I'm rambling on. But anyway, what he was trying to say, which I find fascinating with some of these writers, is that certain people have the power to basically destroy people with their words. I can't say too much. I'm not going to say what kind of abilities I have. I do know for a fact, though, that there are people with abilities that would blow your mind, almost to the point where you might even consider that they're extraterrestrial or something. That they're not from this planet, because there's no way a human could have that type of ability. Believe it or not, it's true. I'm not going to say too much, but I will say I have witnessed things in my life that would make you think that they're not from this planet. And one of the things that people can do is they can crush people. That's why in modern times, nobody, they try to discourage people from voice chat. If you notice, when people use their phones now, it's not to talk to people usually, it's to text, see. It used to be back in the old days, we didn't have texting, so you actually had to talk and communicate with people one-on-one and sound, There's a power behind speech, and I think people forget how powerful speech is, and so I think a lot of, government type of controlling, big, large powers in the world discourage voice communication, because they know how powerful it can be. It can cause a movement, a revolution. It could be a cause to overthrow governments. So they do whatever they can to hide all that, because they want people to fight amongst each other. And I'll kind of keep this short at this point, because I've been going over this. Probably the longest video I've ever made. I can prove this point. Go on Google and define and do a search for the term Discord. It's to argue. Sometimes big companies and whatnot will actually hide the truth in front of people's eyes. Discord, yeah, Facebook, Twitter, maybe not as much Facebook, but they're all designed to get people to argue amongst each other. You know? It's not harmony. It's not, you always see people, oh, we want diversity. We want everyone to love each other and everyone, you can't hurt no one's feelings. No, 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 no. They want the opposite. They want people to fight amongst each other, argue, so they can hide the truth right in front of everybody's eyes. It's all about controlling people. I find that very fascinating, that most people never see that, But anyway, I've gone on for God who knows how long. I'm probably losing my voice at this point. But if you're still listening by some point, which I doubt you are, I do appreciate that you take the time to listen. Because I don't know, maybe I should have gave a warning in front of the video maybe on this, that if you watched and listened to this whole conversation, it's probably going to change you, because it would change you if you didn't know any of this stuff. So anyway, this is Bear and the Bear, and I'm going to sign off. It's nice talking.